What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Divine Healing Poetry. Good to see you guys here again. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your stories on healing. If you've been in an abusive relationship, we love to hear. We are definitely building a community of healers, a community of strong individuals. So go ahead and subscribe and comment below. So this week I didn't tap in. How was everyone's week? How was your Sunday? We've got a new addition. Well, he's been here, but he's a new addition to the show. This is Jupiter. And this is, I don't think I've introduced you guys to her. So rude of me. This is Medusa. Those are my babies. That one doesn't have a name because it's not real. We don't name fake plants around here. But anyways, my week was good. Tonight, this evening, we are talking about how narcissistic parents affect their children. It's really sad when I think about, I had to straighten my posture on this one, y'all, because oh man, it's like, okay, one, I gotta co-parent with your ass, and then two, I gotta pick up the pieces every time you break my children. Like, yo, it's disgusting, the shit that narcissistic people do to their children. It's sad. It's disappointing, and it's almost just like, why don't you go somewhere? Because you are causing more damage than you are anything else. It's upsetting. It's sad. And every time my children interact with their dad, it's just like, you just had to call today, huh? Like, you just had to fly your ass out here. And now I gotta coddle, I gotta soothe, I gotta love immensely. Like, I am always on damage control when he is in town and when my daughter gets off the phone with him. So just some few quick little things as to the damage narcissistic parents cause to their children. And I mean, I've even experienced it myself, because growing up, like you guys know, growing up in my house, my mom's husband was a narcissist. But as a child, I never knew what that meant. But it definitely caused me to have low self-esteem, always seeking validation from others, never really had a strong sense of self-identity, who I was, how amazing I was. It really just tore me down at my core, to where I didn't have a core. I didn't have a strong foundation within myself, or anything like that. So I was always seeking it from outside sources, which is unhealthy, because seeking what you need on the outside, searching for what you need on the inside from outside sources, it's not good. You're not gonna get it. You are going to end up finding a leech that is just going to make it worse. So I also had trust issues. I never trusted that anybody cared about me, because I never had that growing up. And so I definitely had trust issues. One issue I never had, though, was standing up for myself. But some people who are raised by a narcissistic parent will not be able to speak up for themselves. They will not be able to set those boundaries. So I was not good at setting boundaries, but I was good as far as standing up for myself, speaking out, and being like, no, that was not right. don't do that, and stuff like that. But what I am beginning to notice, so before I tell you what I noticed, what my kid's dad, what he does to them, and see, my son's a lot older, so he's kind of privy to the game. He knows his dad is a liar. He knows that whenever he does come to town, he's not really going to hang out with his dad or anything like that, because every time his dad comes into town, he's always too busy. And he'll say to them, oh, I'm coming out there to see you guys. If you're coming out here to see your children, wouldn't you be spending all of that time with them? Instead, he picks them up like around 3, 4, 5. Then they're back home by 8, 8:30, 9. There's really no time being spent whatsoever. And my son knows that. My daughter, she's still a little young, so she still has like high hopes. She still hangs kind of on every word that he says, which that breaks my heart, because I know he's lying. And so it's funny because my daughter said last night, that her dad was coming in town. He might be coming in town for the weekend, which is odd because he never comes in town for a weekend. It's always like a Monday through Thursday type thing. And now, even though he's here that Monday through Thursday, it's still, he only sees them for a few hours every day. And it's like, you would think, but see, he's a narcissist, so those who are not narcissists, yes, that's the things that we think, because those are the things that we would do. We would come into town and we would spend all that time with our kids. You'd be staying the night and everything like that, but that's not him. And so my daughter said the other night, oh, Dad might be coming into town this weekend. And I was like, for what? She was like, to see us. And my son immediately was like, he lying. He gonna be like, oh, I'm too busy. I got things to do, and then come pick us up later just to go eat. And then that's it, bring us back home. He was like, whatever. So he's already to the point where it's just like, whatever, because he's older. But now my daughter, she's the one that's more affected by her narcissistic dad. 100% hands down. Her heart gets broken every time. I've shared with you guys a few scenarios of him not validating her feelings. I was eating a grape, y'all. Of him not validating her feelings, not making her feel worthy, just her not feeling that love. And so when they went to visit him, they're supposed to go out there every summer, right? It's court order. He had them for 4 weeks out of the summer. I remember, and this was before my boundaries were in place, and I put a strong hold on him. I was on the phone with one of my kids. He got on the phone, and he's like, are you ready for them to come back home? And I was like, you haven't even had them for the whole summer. Like, what? He's like, yeah, but it's been 4 weeks. Like, man, they eat, and this is that. Like, it's been 4 weeks. And I was like, what? Like, really? Doesn't make any sense. And so while my children were there that summer, he made my daughter feel like she just did not matter. So his girlfriend has a daughter, right? This little girl is like 6, 7, somewhere around there. The shit she did to my daughter while she was there, it's just like, is somebody going to discipline her? Is somebody going to teach this little girl that what she's doing is wrong and to not? Like, because it's not okay. So he really had my daughter feeling like she just didn't matter. So I'm just going to run down the few little situations that my daughter experienced. And now my daughter called me each time. Every time something happened, because she would be crying. her feelings were hurt and she just felt like nobody cared. So there was an instance where she was getting her hair braided. His girlfriend's daughter called my daughter a cow. That's not okay. Like, she wasn't, that's not okay. Like, we don't teach children to bully, be mean, or to call other kids names. That's not okay. It's not like they were joking and this or anything like that. No, the little girl deliberately has like this vendetta or something against my daughter, and I'm not sure why. So that was one thing. Then there was another instance where the little girl threw a basketball at my daughter's head. Then there was another incident. Her dad had bought her this moisturizer. My daughter's like really big into skincare and things like that. She's very girly. So he bought her this moisturizer. My daughter left it in the bathroom. The little girl deliberately used all of it, like wasted all of it. And she emptied it. Every time my daughter went and told her dad, it was always, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. She's young. She doesn't know what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. Then the little girl stole $10 out of my daughter's wallet that was inside of her purse. My daughter found it under the little girl's pillow in her bed. Again, she doesn't know what she's doing. It's okay. Forget about it. No, it's not okay. Then the little girl, there was a time they were all in the car. I forget where they were going. And my daughter said something. She was talking to his girlfriend about her dad. She was like, oh, yeah, my dad. And the little girl was like, that's not your dad. That's my dad. That's my dad. I have two daddies. And my daughter was like, no, that's my dad. And when you are separated and your child has to defend herself in claiming rights to her parent, and no one is saying, no, don't say that. That's not your dad. This is your dad, and that's her dad. Like, there should be a foundation set to where there's an understanding and you're not allowing the other child to say mean and hurtful things to discredit or disregard the fact that that is your dad. You know what I'm saying? Your dad, your mom, whatever. Like, it's not okay. It's not like she was doing it being funny, cute, or anything like that. She was deliberately hurting my daughter. And so my daughter was upset. She again told her dad, oh, she's young. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Clearly, since you live with your girlfriend and her daughter, you are around her more often all the time. My thing was, you don't financially take care of your children. You don't physically even take care of your children. Even when you are here, you don't physically make your presence known and felt to your children. But what is it that you're doing to your girlfriend's daughter to even make her feel or think that you are her dad? That was my problem with it. Coming from the mama side, it's like, what? But, you know, I let it go. I honestly, I feel like I just feel bad for my kids because they don't get to have a dad, their dad, but yet your girlfriend's daughter gets to have you. To me, that's not okay. That's not right. I'm always the one left picking up the pieces. Even when my daughter was out there visiting with them, calling me all the time, crying. She was even crying about her uncle, his brother that passed away, I think like a year, going on 2 years ago. And she was crying about him. And this was like her favorite uncle. And my son's favorite uncle too. So they kind of took it a little hard. And so she was crying about him. She missed him. She goes up to her dad and she's like, you know, I miss my uncle. And he says, oh, stop crying. That's nothing for you to cry about. You are disregarding. You are not validating. And you're just showing her yet again she does not matter. And that you just don't care. So who does she call? The most amazing mother in the world, of course. So she calls me. Yet again, I am soothing, cuddling, loving, validating, reaffirming, and all of that good stuff. And it's just like, sometimes I feel like it would just be best if he was just absent, because you come around, you do more damage than you do good. So it might be better if you just didn't come around, because I wouldn't have to do damage control all the time. So if you weren't here, if you were just absent, I mean, it's not like you financially give anything to your children. You bought clothes last year twice out of the whole 12 months. So it's like, they are not benefiting. And if you are raising children with a narcissist, please tell me you feel me. Please, because I can't be the only one that deals with this. Like, it is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. And so it's like I'm always validating their feelings because he doesn't. And so, like, even my therapist, she told me, you know, as long as your children have one parent that loves them, that validates their feelings, that is giving them what that other parent is not, they will be okay. So I am constantly just loving, constantly just reaffirming, validating, honoring their feelings, listening to them, caring about them, letting them talk, express themselves. We have very good communication. We sit and we talk. I check in with them all the time. Like, how are you feeling? Are you happy? What's bothering you? Is there something that I'm doing that I need to change? Because I feel like as parents, I know for me growing up, my mom never asked, like, is there anything that I'm doing to you that hurts your feelings, that you feel that I need to change or anything like that? And I feel like as parents, we need to do that for our children. Because, yeah, we were once kids, but we were not them. We were us. You know what I'm saying? So always checking in with them, I feel like it's amazing. It allows them to feel free to talk, to let them know, like, look, I'm not perfect. I am working on myself. Tell me what I can do to change. That is something that you don't like, that is hurting you, or what, like, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we do that all the time. And so it's nice getting that feedback from my kids. It's nice them knowing that I am a safe place because they know that their dad is not. It is nice. I'm still waiting for that moment for my daughter to get to where my son is, to that knowing that her dad is a liar. Her dad is not going to be that dad that she wants, that's going to love her, honor her, validate her feelings, be there for her, spend time with her. Or, like, I'm waiting for that moment for her to be like, you know what? You really aren't good for me. I'm really, really waiting for that moment. And I know it's going to come. It's going to come with time. She's going to have to continue getting her heart broken. She's going to have to continue going through her, you know, letting her down. Like, she already knows he's a liar, because he lies about a lot. He lies about things he's going to do, you know, for her, with her, things he's going to get her, and things like that. So she already knows that he's a liar, but she still has high hopes. You know, she's young, she's a girl. And so I'm really just waiting for it to really just, like, register within her. Like, okay, you know what? You really aren't good for me. You hurt me more than you make me feel. I had to take a sip. It was, like, too hot. And now it's gotten a little too chill. But it's still good. It's a vanilla cappuccino. But yeah, I'm just really waiting for that day. Because just for her to realize, he hurts her more than he makes her feel good. And even like there was this time where, and even with the low self-esteem, God, it's like, how do you not see that you are hurting her? For Christmas, he was out here. They all went to Barnes and Nobles. And all he did was put her down. And even allow his sister to put her down too. She likes certain type of books, comic style books. Okay, that's fine. All he kept telling her was, he was comparing her to her other cousins, saying, oh, you need to get books like them. You need to get books like them. Why are you getting these books? Because these are the books that I like. So again, you're making her feel like she's less than. You're giving her low self-esteem. You're making her feel shamed. And you're not allowing her to be her true self. So then his sister proceeded to say, yeah, she can't read that good. Do you read with her? You don't. And if you feel that your niece has trouble reading, why don't you come read with her? Why don't you come do some positive reinforcements? Why don't you do anything positive to make her feel good? My daughter was mad. Her feelings were hurt. She did not have a good time. When she came home, she was upset. Yet again, I'm picking up the pieces. Giving her love, letting her know, like, okay, well, they're stupid. And 2, it's not your fault. Whatever issues or subjects in school you are struggling with, because when I left their dad, and I don't know if she remembers this or not, but and I don't remind her, I don't say anything, but I'm letting y'all know, when I left him, he took the kids from me. He wasn't even here. They were with his mother. No one was doing homework. No one was doing any of that. So she fell behind. But who was here picking up? Me. Of course I am. She reads 30 minutes every day after school. We do reading comprehensions. All of that. So me. It's me picking up the pieces. So yet again, even after that, I told her, okay, come next year. The little tradition of going to Barnes & Noble, you will not be there because I will not subject you to being hurt, especially by people that are supposed to love and protect you. You're not about to give my daughter no trust issues. You're not about to give her low self-esteem. Like, she's already a girl in this world, so it's already so many stigmas, and society says this, society says that, so it's already so much for a girl growing up. I'm not going to allow anybody else to add anything. So that's a wrap. I'm all about protecting my daughter, protecting my kids, loving my kids, and I will forever be the one to pick up the pieces. So if you are parenting with a narcissistic person, I know you are constantly on damage control. You are constantly picking up the pieces, putting things back together again, and repairing them with gold and love. So you are not alone. It's tough when you are dealing with a narcissistic person. It's tough. And it's really hard on the children because they are not adults. They are children. Their brain is still forming. They're still gathering their self-identity, trying to navigate this world and everything. And so when you have a narcissistic parent, definitely doesn't help the situation. But for those of us that are not narcissistic, we got this. Let's continue building a strong community. Let's continue healing, growing, learning, and loving. Our children will be okay. As long as they have us, our children will be okay. That is why our children were blessed with us as parents as well. Because the universe knew. The universe knew they needed us. So, it's a good thing they got us as parents. Don't forget, subscribe, like. Hope you enjoyed this conversation. And I will see you guys again next Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.